Got past the first stage, which is just the behavioral interview, where they just ask you a bunch of random questions about what are your motivations and how you can be an asset to the company. So I decided I got past that stage. So that was my first time getting past one of those. We get a second interview. It's the coding part, so more of a technical thing, a take-home test rather. And then you hand in your take-home test on GitHub. You just push the code. I haven't heard a response yet, but I just pushed it like yesterday. So I'm really looking forward to that. My mentor told me to reach out to the recruiter and let her know also. So I did that this morning. Wow, your face turns black here. Anyway, look at that's nice. Wow. Yeah, I think the next stage of this code interview is that they get to review your code with like 3 other engineers, and you talk with them, and they also give you a coding challenge that you have to solve with them. And it's probably going to be around the lines of like more object-oriented programming type stuff. I was watching a bunch of motivational videos before my interview, right before it, and I saw Steve Jobs in his younger form, and well, one of the things he's basically selling himself to companies, right? He's talking about how calligraphy, like just like basically writing fancy letters, how it helped him in the computer industry so much. He's just basically selling himself, you know what I mean? So if he could sell something like calligraphy, if you have a medical background and you're applying for a healthcare company, most likely, you should sell that really well. People will tell you type of attitude. They'll tell you that, you don't have the right degree or something like that. But I'm telling you that that's definitely not the case. There's definitely different mindsets for different groups. And if you keep encountering more conventional type companies, then those are companies that you're looking at. And there's other companies that are looking for more unconventional type methods, such as the web development boot camps. So yeah, I still don't have a job yet, but it's definitely certainly possible. I've reached out to enough people over LinkedIn, and they've certainly stated that they don't have any sort of technical experience other than a boot camp. Even often people that just freaking do a bunch of Udemy courses and get an internship and just get experience. They'll get in. Especially things like startups. It seems like it's just more like the rough and tumble of programming. Another great thing that I really like, not only working remote's pretty damn cool, the type of attitude that's inside the technology industry. It's more like the can-do attitude people that really are attracted to the group. Or it also has this sort of personality types that are like, do you want to start a business, man? And those people are certainly great to have around, where very much not political at all, very just a goal-oriented type crew. So yeah, we're almost reaching our sitting spot. Not many leaves. I guess they cleaned everything up right now. Yeah, there's so many leaves. Not only was Steve Jobs selling himself when he was talking about calligraphy, it's a true statement. You can't really try to do the same. Insanity is trying the same thing and expecting different results. And if everyone's your cookie cutter background and you're producing a result that you don't want, then you're going to have to try something different. And thank God that inside the tech field there are no things like licenses or stuff like that, so people can often come from all these different backgrounds and come from all these different unique solutions. And this could be definitely a reason why the tech community or technology has been advancing rapidly for these past, I guess, couple of decades. You know, there's a lot less things slowing them down. Where things like even what do you call it? Peter Thiel in his book, he's talking about it. We can call it, let's just call it microbiology type advancements in things like penicillin and stuff like that. It can't advance as rapidly because there's so much things slowing it down. I mean, for good reason, sure. You know, you don't want a bunch of people experimenting with things like this. I mean, look what happens. COVID occurs, and that's not fun, you know. So, but yeah, it's definitely one of the most interesting industries. We did from a web development boot camp, and yeah, I'm really interested in anything related to healthcare, of course, but for good reason. You know, having a lot of healthcare experience, and I did see on the comments. So I was looking up other reviews of comments, and it's like people say stuff like, "Oh, I can't. Whoever built this or something, you know, doesn't understand the customer properly." You know what I mean? And you know, just having a 4-year degree and a couple years experience in the healthcare industry might be able to help you out building a product that customers actually want. You know, better communicate with the customer. It'll help you better understand their needs and right, to build a product more intuitively to solve their issues. You know, it's basically like what Steve Jobs said, right? You're solving problems with a different approach rather than the same cookie cutter approach, rather than the same background over and over and over. So that's it with that. Let's see. Now, as a registered nurse in the rehab center, the application that we were using called Matrix, and you know, we really got to understand the ins and outs of this application. But you know, I didn't know all of the nitty-gritty detail. I didn't have enough time, frankly, to actually understand all of the, like the FHIR or the FDA, where they approve you and stuff like that. So I never really got to look into all that stuff. I only really looked into things like YC Combinator or just Paul Graham's, you know, essays, where he would often just talk about like how to start a startup and what type of startups to get into and stuff like that. So yeah, this is my first deep dive into healthcare startups in general, as I'm looking into it more and more. Looks like my dad's ready to finish walking. Oh no, I guess not. But anyway, yeah, so it's my first deep dive, and it'll be pretty cool to actually be a part of a team that's been doing this for a while, and that I could really you know, put my best effort towards, and they'll help direct that best effort.